All right, it looks like I'm getting a cue there. We started a little early, if that's right, but that's okay. Tom Trento here on WNN 1470, broadcasting out of Boca Raton, Florida. But we're really not. We're broadcasting somewhere else, going through Boca Raton, going right in between your ears. Ladies and gentlemen, good to be with you on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. We almost should put the clock there, then I don't have to do this. But then if I look at that camera, it's better. So that's fine. On a beautiful Tuesday afternoon in South Florida. What a show we have today. Every day, we're jamming our 3-hour show into our 1-hour television show. And as we have said time after time, that's a song, time after time, we're going to take the month of April to kind of experiment on you, our crash test TrentoVision smart people. They're not dummies.
That's
They're
right.
smart people.
They're high information voters.
High information voters, those who listen. And we have Mark, our big brain, back in action.
Yay!
We have a very happy CJ. Her life is getting stabilized from the being cast adrift in the ocean.
Terra firma.
In the ocean of instability. So that's taking place. A lot of good things going on. We still have a crazy world, folks.
Yes.
Still have a crazy world. And we struggle with the issue, why do so many people hate Jewish people? I mean, what is it? Yeah. Why? I mean, historically, through biblical times, then coming up into modern times, and the Romans said, no, you can't stay in Israel. We're going to throw you out, and dispersed for 2,000 years. Then kind of reunited, but before that, let's kill them all in Europe and chase them down wherever they are. And now we have evil people who would love to cleanse out Israel from the river to the what?
To the sea.
From the river to the sea, from the Jordan to the Mediterranean. That would be another kind of cleansing of Judaism. What is that all about? Well, in terms of Holocaust, and if you remember yesterday, we gave you the etymological construction of the word Holocaust. Holo, Greek whole, kaustos, Greek burnt whole. Holocaust from Greek transliteration to English, burnt whole. Hebrew, Hashoah, the catastrophe. Yesterday was Israel Remembrance Day. We had part of our show on that, and we're going to do another segment on it today to complete it. But we took a little different view, folks. Instead of the traditional approach to remembering those who have passed in a horrible catastrophe, we looked at the ideology behind the individual and then the nation that paved the way to legitimize, in the eyes of many, the genocide, and we're using that in technical and non-technical sense, the massive killing of a group of people of the same caliber, same race. Mark doesn't like genocide used for that.
I hate that term.
I know, but it's efficacious. It works, and then how a world stood by very silently, knowing that was taking place. And we're raising these issues because we see similarities, not only the historic parallels, as Bill Langfan said, to
That's
1938,
right.
but the philosophical and theological ground being laid with the Islamic jihadis wanting to kill the Jews and get rid of them from the river to the sea. Now we see Kim Jong-un in North Korea getting support from guess who today? From Iran. Iran took a position of support with Kim Jong-un, the 29-year-old leader of North Korea, and basically said it's all the United States' fault. They're screwing around in your country. Your country is Korea. They're in the South. They are imperialists poking their noses where they shouldn't be. America needs to get out of there. Otherwise, there's going to be devastation rained upon Americans, says Iran today. Mm-hmm. Welcome to another day at the office.
Just another day for Iranian diplomats.
So here we are, Tom Trento, your host of TrentoVision. Tom Trento, your host of TrentoVision, and CJ. Are you there? Yeah,
I'm
there you
here.
are.
Yeah.
My co-host over there. How are you today?
I'm great, as you
Tom
know.
and CJ.
Yeah.
And what's going on out in that world out there? How are you guys?
How are the fabulous bunker boys?
Yes,
The
the
disembodied
buggers-
voice is perfectly fine.
Good.
Still having problem with the genocide term.
Okay.
Okay.
I am
but-
doing very good today.
You
Imam
are.
Abdullah.
Yes.
How is I know we're concerned about you guys, but like, how about the audio and the video? How's that stuff working out?
We don't care about that stuff.
Okay. Are people actually able to watch and listen to the show?
No, Tom, we're talking to ourselves.
We're just here for the entertainment.
Okay, we're just entertaining ourselves. Well, while we're entertaining, see, there is a little bit of a misnomer. I must address this with our loyal fans and our loyal listeners and viewers. It looks, because now I think we've been through most of the initial bumps and bruises of creating and building this massive studio here.
We hope.
Yeah, I think, but though I can't see it on TrentoVision, so maybe that's just me.
It is just you, Tom.
Okay, good. Let's see. Please, please, please.
You think what?
I don't have it. See if you can get it on TrentoVision.
That is my job. You just you talk.
I'm trying to see. We like to see ourselves 4 times on every camera, every monitor, and every computer.
Please
You're,
tell
you're the
No, no,
talking
no, no,
head.
no.
Talk.
I don't know what it
You're the
is.
talking head
Yeah,
talent.
you're
talk.
It is.
you're the talent. Be
I'm-
talented.
You're the talent, Mark's
What?
the brains. Let's go. You're just a pretty face.
Do
yeah.
what?
Look at this mugly.
Oh,
Turn
my
on the
IVGA.
IVGA.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know.
Ordinarily, I would be telling everybody what's coming up next on the show, except
You
for you
get-
didn't give me any notes.
You get.
So I don't know what you're talking about
I
next.
guess you get the labor you pay for.
Yeah.
I think that's how it works. The labor pool. We're getting the labor pool. Anyway, Tom Trento, CJ, Mark, Mike, Imam Abdullah, and the new guy. We won't say the new guy's name. We got a new guy here helping out with
The
us.
invisible new guy.
Yes, the invisible new guy.
I'm so tempted to call him Bubba.
Yeah.
Bubba.
Nope.
Nope.
We can't.
We
do
can't
it.
say that.
No. I don't know.
I meant
Racist.
I meant it
Racist.
affectionately.
Oh, it's an affection.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he said we could call him anything, and I said, "How about Bubba then?"
Nope, that's good.
Yeah, but he's a very nice young man.
But then people will know that Bill Clinton is working for us.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, now see what you're doing? Now
Yeah.
you get the audio playing on your computer and you double.
Oh wow!
Now
Cool.
see, that's what happens when you try to do the technical stuff, Tom.
Cool. That's cool.
That's exactly what happens
So
when you
why
try
did
to
it
run the.
start then?
Meanwhile, back at the show,
Oh, we have a show. That's
Yes.
right.
And
The-
only 1 hour, so snap, snap.
We got the Muslims on.
No
on
more
your
3
back.
hours. 3 hours, you do the dilly-dally. We're down to 1 hour. No dilly-dally.
42 minutes, Tom.
42 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
But the dilly dally's so nice.
It's
People
fun to
like when we
dilly-dally. They
dilly-dally.
do like
I
it.
know. But we have to go right through the thing. All right, here's what we're going to do. The 2 issues today that we're dealing with, 2 very important issues. One is the continuation of our work on Holocaust Remembrance Day, in particular the Nazi ideology and the insipid similar ideology we sense, see, and can document today, and raise that as a warning, as a red flag, if you will. And but right now, I want to take a look at the 700 Special Forces veterans that are part of SOS. SOS is Special Operations Speaks. And Mike, if you can come to my screen, please. I have my little IVGA working. You should be able to see it right there. And oh, there it is. All right. This is a website. We want everybody to go to it. Special Operations Speaks. SpecialOperationsSpeaks.com. And very simply stated, Special Operations Speaks is comprised of a small group of former special operators who have distinguished themselves in the military as special forces. And
So that
they
would be like the Navy SEALs or the Green Berets.
keep going. The Green Berets, the Delta Force, the Rangers, the Marine Force Recon, all the branches. The Air Force has the Nighthawks, or the Army Nighthawks. The Air Force has the Parajumpers. Each branch has a unique elite group And then, ironically, even from there, more elite groups have been put together from the elite of the elite. So the individuals that started Special Operations Speaks, the individuals that started that are unbelievably credentialed in the business of military philosophy, of combat, hand-to-hand and standoff combat. And we're talking generals. I mean, General Jerry Boykin, a good friend of ours, he is one of the individuals involved with Special Operations Speaks. General Paul Vallely, another good friend, he's
Right.
another one. These are guys that spent 35 years in either the Marine Corps, the Army, the Navy. Several SEALs are involved, and 2 SEALs are winners of the Medal of Honor. That's rare.
That's very rare.
So when a few of these guys get together and say something, you better listen.
Yeah.
When 700 get together,
Yeah.
700, President Obama better listen.
Do you think they wanted to make that another 700 club?
Yeah, that's an interesting
kind
one.
of cute.
But if you come back
Do you
to
want
my
to go
screen,
over some of those
Yeah. if you come back to my
questions that
screen,
they had in their letter?
if you come back to my screen, we're gonna go through this letter they wrote, and they wrote a letter, open letter to the U.S. House of Representatives. Why don't you? Well, how about we share reading duties?
Okay.
How about that?
All right. You want
You
to
can
start?
start.
Do you want
No,
me to
you-
start
yeah.
with number 1?
No, read the whole letter. No, read the letter. It's important.
Oh, you want to read the whole
Yeah,
letter?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Can you read it? Can you-
To members of the U.S. House of Representatives.
Stop. Who's it to?
Members of the U.S. House of Representatives.
Okay. Serious
Subject:
stuff.
the Benghazi attacks on 9/11/2012. The undersigned are a representative group of some 700 retired military special operations professionals who spent the majority of their careers preparing for and executing myriad operations to rescue or recover detained or threatened fellow Americans. In fact, many of us participated in both the Vietnam era POW rescue effort, the son of Tay
Sunday Raid.
yeah, as well as Operation Eagle Claw, the failed rescued attempt in April of 1980 in Iran. So we have been at this for many years and have a deep passion for seeking the truth about what happened during the national tragedy in Benghazi.
All right, hold it there for a second. Those two, what they've just said here to the House of Representatives. Now, understand, Sante Raid was in 1968. How many years ago was that? 78, 88, 98, 2008.
45.
45 years ago. And 80 was 30 years ago. 33 years ago. There's members of the House of Representatives that weren't even born when this stuff happened.
Right.
So they're saying to the House,
We've
hey,
been around.
we're part
We
of
know some
history.
stuff.
And the Sante Raid was an effort to save 65 U.S. soldiers that were being held by the North Vietnamese. And the soldiers were moved the day before. They did manage, the Americans, in a massive raid to kill a bunch of North Vietnamese, but they did not rescue any Americans. And Operation Eagle Claw, that was when Jimmy Carter tried to send the special operators to go save the people in Iran.
Yeah, the hostages in Iran.
So each year, Jerry Boykin, who was part of that, General Boykin, Operation Eagle Claw, he has a reunion with the guys that are living. Eight died. Every year they meet and they remember those who died. And they were going in to rescue diplomats in Iran. And these people were going in the Vietnam one to go rescue Americans held. So this is what they do. The whole purpose of this letter is what the heck's going on in Benghazi.
Right.
The purpose of this letter, I'll read here, is to encourage all members of the House of Representatives to support H36, House Resolution 36. If you look right here, I have that bill up. For those of you driving, I'm showing House Resolution. This is not a bill.
It's a
I'll
resolution.
blow it up a little, Tom.
This is a resolution that
We'll
simply...
create a House Select Committee on the terrorist attack in Benghazi.
Yep. And Mr. Wolf for himself, these are the ones who have signed on. Wolf, Barletta, Alderholt, Franks of Arizona, Weber of Texas, Posey, about 15, 20 guys, House members, men and women, have signed on already. And this resolution says, look, we need a select House committee. So this is the resolution. Now we're reading from the website where we want you to go, Special Operations Speaks, because there's action necessary. We here at TrentoVision, the United West, we teach this stuff and expose this stuff to the end that Americans get active and create public policy change. And the public policy change right now is to get this select committee up and running, investigating the incident in Benghazi. That is, investigating
We
the...
want to know what happened, and they're not going to
You
do
know
it
what
on their own
happened.
unless we pressure them.
There's nothing to see there. You know what happened. It
We
was a
owe,
movie.
we owe the truth to the American families. It appears that many of the facts and details surrounding the terrorist attack, which resulted in 4 American deaths and an undetermined number of American casualties, we don't even know how many people were hurt yet.
That's right.
They have not been ascertained by previous hearings and inquiries. What do I know?
That's right.
Remember Hillary? Well,
Yeah.
what difference is it?
Yeah.
Additional information is now slowly surfacing in the media, which makes a comprehensive, bipartisan inquiry an imperative. Many questions have not been answered thus far. The House Select Committee should address, at a minimum, the following questions.
Number 1, why was there no military response to the events in Benghazi? And you want me to read all those? Yeah. A, were military assets in the region available? If not, why not? B, if so, were they alerted? Were assets deployed to any location in preparation for a rescue or recovery attempt? Was military assistance requested by the Department of State? If so, what type? Were any U.S. Army/Naval/USMC assets available to support the U.S. diplomats in Benghazi during the attack? And what, if any, recommendations for military action were made by DoD and the U.S. Africa Command?
Yeah, U.S. Africa Command obviously commands Africa, and this happened in Africa, Northern Africa, and the Maghreb.
Right.
Number 2, what, if any, non-military assistance was provided during the attack? We'll go
How
back and
many
forth.
U.S. personnel were injured in Benghazi?
Why have the survivors, number 4, of the attack not been questioned?
Where are the survivors?
Yeah, where are the survivors?
They're under, I think they're being
No,
gagged.
that's a big question. Where are the
Yeah.
survivors, and how come that they have a sequester of that they've been sequestered? What's the purpose of that? Why can't they speak?
Well, the most logical thing, if you trust your leader, the president, and the administration, which we don't, we have no trust in this president, this administration. The most logical thing is they were involved in top secret work, and they're spies basically, and they can't be revealed. Can't know who they are. The public, the general public, can't know who they are or what they were doing.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm talking about why can't senators and congressmen get a hold of these people? Why can't our top people with the top security clearance, get a hold of these people and interview them and find out what's going on? Because I heard that
You mean the way it's normally done?
Lindsey
Oh.
Graham had some limited access to it, and someone else had some limited access, but they do not have the complete list of people. Nobody is able to talk to these people.
And nobody's going to be able to talk to these people now that Brennan is in charge of the CIA.
And so everybody remembers historically, this occurred on 9/11, September 11th,
Yeah.
6 weeks before November 6th, the election. All the machinations, all the sleight of hand, all the smoke and mirrors by the Obama administration was to keep tamped down
Yeah.
this
Smother it.
crisis, which blew out the fact that GM's alive and Osama bin Laden's dead.
Right.
That whole thing, and Al-Qaeda's on the run. This was an Al-Qaeda operation, so there's a cover-up. And obviously these people know this.
Yeah.
And why can't sworn officers, elected officials who are sworn officers of the United States of America, and we have the separation of power so that the administration can't become a monarchy, why can't trusted members of select committees be sworn to secrecy and know a little bit about this, then come out and tell their fellow members, hey, it's okay, I just heard the whole truth from the horse's mouth. That's what these
Right.
700 guys are asking
Right.
for. This is bad news.
Yeah.
Who
Because
was
it's being stifled by the horse's ass.
Yeah,
Speaking
that's
speaking
pretty
of
true.
which, go to number 6.
Who was in number 6? Who was in the White House Situation Room during the entire 8-hour period of the attacks and was a senior U.S. military officer present? That's a great question. Who was there? We know who wasn't there.
Well, and also with Brennan too. I mean, how did Brennan get involved in all this, and why was he involved in it at all? Is my big question.
It was his operation.
Yeah,
But from
well,
the White House.
Well,
yeah,
watch.
that's coming up.
Yeah.
Watch
That's
the next
coming
one.
up.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead. Read, I'll read 7.
Number
You read-
yeah.
You read 7, yeah.
Okay, number 7. Where were Leon Panetta and General Martin Dempsey during the crisis, and what inputs and recommendations did they make?
Number 8, where were Tom Donilon, he's a national security advisor, Dennis McDonough,
McDonough.
his deputy, there she is again, Valerie Jarrett,
Yeah.
and John Brennan during the attacks. What, if any, recommendations or decisions did any of them make? This is not like esoteric stuff to be asking of your administration.
Yeah.
This is normal information in any
Yeah.
sort of investigation.
You mean the most
Where-
transparent
Yeah.
administration
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
history of the
I
country?
mean,
That
basically what they're
administration?
asking here is, where were the military and the administration officials during the period of time in which we were attacked? Period.
Who was minding the ship, and if the ship was being minded, who was there? What was happening? I mean, this is simple
Basically,
stuff.
an act of war is taking place, and we want to know who was where when while this was taking place.
And-
I don't
and-
think
and-
it's unreasonable.
And so far, the answers have been, this is the elitist. This is exactly the elitist attitude of Hillary Clinton, of President Obama. Hillary Clinton. You remember when she was a pot smoking hippie in school, and
I don't think she was a pot smoker.
Oh,
I
that
think
was her
that
husband.
was her husband.
That was her husband. Okay.
Yeah.
That was
but
Barack Obama. I thought it was
he
Yeah.
didn't.
No,
He was a
cocaine.
dope dealer. He was a
dope
cocaine.
dealer.
He was doing lines of cocaine.
She was just a commie at an all-girls school.
Yeah, but they always had this elitist view. They're smarter than everybody else. They're smarter
Right.
than everybody else. And they went to the best schools. And, at young age, he was the governor of the big state of Arkansas. Four
The
people
second
down there.
poorest state in the country
Yeah.
at the time.
And, President Obama winds up in Harvard. And they carry this elitist attitude right into the White House. And when real questions are asked, it's okay. We have it under control. The security
it's
staff
not
knows
even,
what it is.
I disagree. It's not even, it's okay, we have everything under control. It's none of your business.
Well, yeah, okay,
That's
yeah.
what
If
comes
I
out
have
of their
to
mouths.
explain, you
It
won't
doesn't
understand.
matter. It's none of your business.
What did
If I have
I
to
said,
explain,
I'm sorry, Muffin, but I can't tell you about it.
if I have to explain, you can't understand.
so that's actually the attitude. Well, these guys who strapped on machinery that killed people, these guys who killed people as a living for the United States, they had enough of it. They said, you know what? We're tired. And look at the
Because
next question.
It's part of a pattern. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed. I'm sure you have noticed over the last couple of years, particularly. I mean, our special forces are getting hit all the time.
Getting hit heavily,
It's
yeah.
1 here, 2 there, 3 there, 4 down there, 16 down there. I mean,
And
it's
they're
all
we
the
know
time.
the rules of engagement are a mess.
And this administration is not giving the support that these guys need.
Special operations, plural, special operations speak.com. We want you to go there, go through this material. We have a couple of other questions. And there's 2 websites to link to. There's a petition to sign. We want you to get active on this. We got to put pressure on the administration. Why were F-16 fighter aircraft based in Aviano, Italy, less than 2 hours away, never considered a viable option for disruption? Now they're starting to say, okay, President Obama and Brennan and all you people that know nothing about anything here.
Yeah.
You could have used it as a viable option for disruption, if not dispersal of the attackers until boots on the ground, troop support, General Dempsey's words, arrived. Number 10. Go ahead.
Yeah, were any strike aircraft such as an AC-130
Wicked
gunship in the
gunship.
area or possibly overhead that would cause former SEAL Tyrone Woods to laser designate his attacker's position and call for gunship fire support, thereby revealing his own location that left that led to his death.
And
That's
without getting into
really serious.
without all the details, the compound where Ambassador Chris Stevens and Sean Smith got killed was removed from the CIA compound where Tyrone Woods, and it was hours later, where he was fighting off a group of people with mortars, and he had a laser designating device with him.
Yeah.
And it was simple. It was just, and this was hours later, so they could have put equipment
And
overhead.
I'm never going to forget, by the way, just one thing about Tyrone Woods. When his body came back to the U.S. and Hillary Clinton walked up to his father
right.
and whispered in his ear, "Don't worry, we're going to get the guy
Who made the movie?
who
There's a
did this.
C-130
We're going to get
right
the
there.
guy who did this."
Yeah, these spooky
And-
gunships.
And
yeah.
they did, because they went with the narrative and they jailed the producer of that stupid Innocence of Muslims cartoon video that the State Department and the White House were insisting were responsible for what happened in Benghazi.
And let me tie this together,
Put
folks.
the guy in jail and kept him like
He still is in jail. Yeah. Bogus
but they
charge.
kept him in solitary away to make sure that he couldn't talk before the election, made sure he didn't get a public hearing until January.
Yep.
They should have killed him.
Yeah. Well, let me put the pieces together here. Hillary Clinton, instead of telling Mr. Woods, Tyrone's dad, we're going to find out what happened and kill the bad guys and get to them, whatever. She goes after the movie producer, and she has been on the forefront of helping the OIC, Organization for Islamic Cooperation,
That's right.
to figure out a way to write a law to make blasphemy or criticism of the Prophet Muhammad Puba illegal. And now we see one of the issues we've been dealing with last week and this weekend. Pamela Geller, speaking at Great Neck Synagogue, the Islamic Center of Long Island, doesn't want her speaking because she's going to criticize Muhammad. All this stuff ties together. This is Islamic jihad worldwide. When you're in a theater where these people have weapons, which they do now, serious weapons, they will use them and they will kill people.
Serious weapons that we arm them with, by the way.
Yes, and I'll
Because-
show you that in a second. Who gave the order to stand down that was heard repeatedly during the attack? What threat warnings existed before the attack, and what were the DoD, Department of Defense, and Department of State responses to those warnings? Now they're drilling down these 700. What data, which will reveal exact timelines and command decisions, is contained within the SITREPS situation reports, records, logs, videos, recordings maintained by the DoD, the intelligence community, State Department command centers. We want to see the paperwork. Number
Yeah.
13.
Yeah, this is a good one. Why did the Commander-in-Chief and Secretary of State never once check in during the night to find out the status of the crisis situation in Benghazi?
That's
That's
incomprehensible.
my-
unconscionable.
Yeah,
What if
That
this-
is
Impeachable
treason.
offense.
it really is.
Treason.
All right, think about it this way. What if,
Accessory to murder.
and this is one of those what if George Bush would have done it things,
Ugh.
is give me a break. Come on. If George Bush did this, we'd be all over him too.
Yeah, but
Oh.
this never would have happened if it wasn't for George Bush.
Yeah, right, exactly. No, this is very, very important. Number 13, the Commander-in-Chief, what was he doing? This is where our colleague with Sharia, the Threat to America, Andy McCarthy, the prosecutor, former prosecutor, he says that this is possibly an impeachable offense. The failure, you have an obligation as Commander-in-Chief to stay on this stuff.
Yeah.
To remove yourself from it, you've reneged on your obligation as the Commander-in-Chief. You took time off. There is no time off as Commander-in-Chief.
That's right.
Vacationer in
So-
chief.
Yeah.
Well, think about it this way. What if during the Battle of D-Day or whatever, oh, well, you know what? I'm the commander of the Allied forces going today. I'm going to take a nap. It's unconscionable. It really is. If Patton were to take a nap, why the people are going to war?
Now this is beautiful because these are serious accusations against the Commander-in-Chief, President Obama, and clearly, if the administration had the data to support his excellent management and handling of
That's
this
right.
crisis in process, you don't think they would be flying it around in the sky on banners telling how great, look
Yeah.
look what we did with
Yeah.
Osama, right?
Yeah.
He failed. Everybody knows it. That's why they're keeping this thing, keeping a lid on this thing.
That's right.
What was the nature of Ambassador Stevens' business in Benghazi at the time of the attack? There's two theories floated out there right now regarding Stevens. One we have been following, which is that he was taking the guns from Gaddafi
Yep.
and shipping them through Turkey,
To
to Syria to arm the rebels, whoever they are.
Whoever
Al-Qaeda,
they are.
Al-Nusra.
Al-Qaeda in Syria.
Well, it's actually
Al-Qaeda and Muslim Brotherhood in Syria.
that's actually a lot more than just a theory, Tom. They have they captured the captain of the ship, who said that's what we're doing, and a whole bunch of other evidence along the lines that says that's what we were doing with the weapons. We're shipping them over to Syria.
Brennan's
No,
project.
the
There's
weapons
more
were
to the theory.
the weapons were definitely being shipped. The question is, was Ambassador Stevens involved in shipping, which we have been holding to? But a new theory came up. Barry Rubin of Israel, and he did some research, and he threw a theory out there, basically saying that Stevens went to recover the man pads. Remember all the 20,000 man pads?
Right.
His job was not to ship them to Syria. His job was to get them out of the hands of the people shipping them to Syria.
Good
He
luck
didn't-
to you.
He didn't want them out there. So
He wouldn't be
Which
the
is
one
it?
to send.
well,
Would he be the
Let
one
me
to
send
send?
a small homosexual not in the military to go collect all those guns. Great idea.
but he was very skilled at his work. And the
At
question
his work,
is,
which was what?
the
We still
question
don't even
is-
know what his work was.
the question is, we don't know all of this. That's why we want to get to the bottom of it. But let me just show you this right now. This is, don't come to my screen yet,
Well,
Mike.
wait a minute. I mean, we still have to do 15 and 16.
Yeah, we got a lot to do.
Yeah.
But I want to show you what happens. All right, come here, Mike. Look at this screen here. Remember this guy, everybody? Who's that? That's
Gaddafi.
if you're looking at our screen on
Very
TrentoVision.tv, 33 minutes past 5 o'clock. That's Muammar Gaddafi in all his glory at some festival council of whatever. And if you're listening on WNN, we're showing Muammar Gaddafi in his one of his nicer days.
Before they
All
turn
right,
him
go
into
off
a
of my
human
screen.
corn
Come
dog.
back to me. Come back to me. And here's a little lesson for a very important lesson for dictators. Let's see. This is the one. No, not that one. All right, this one right here. No, this one right here. Okay, come on back. This is when Gaddafi's caravan was bombed, and he was hiding in a sewer pipe in Libya, trying to escape. They caught him. That's Gaddafi right there in the brown clothes, and a bunch of the rebels going after him. Remember, Gaddafi and Obama, early in Obama's first term, were great friends and
Of course.
spoke
Never
highly
met
of
a,
each
yeah,
other.
Obama hasn't met a dictator he didn't like.
It-
Or a Muslim.
I go off of my screen for a second. Now we progress to this picture here. Hang on. No, not that one. Hang on. Yep. Okay, come
Oh,
to
you're not
this
going
one.
to show that picture, are you? Tom?
Yeah, well, yeah. This has been all over the website. This is a picture where they. This is part of jihad doctrine, where they sodomized him with a stick.
Human corn dog.
And the importance of this is Kim Jong-un saw these pictures, as do all the Ayatollahs and Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. Now you go from there to that picture right there. That's a dead Gaddafi, picture of Gaddafi dead.
And he's beaten to a pulp.
And if you remember, after we went into Iraq, you can come back to me, Mike. After we went into Iraq, George Bush told Gaddafi, you may want to continue with your weapons of mass destruction, or you may want, you may not. You may want to work with us.
Yeah.
He said, you know what, I'll get rid of that stuff. I'll help you catch jihadis.
Right.
And we had this bizarre relationship with a dictator who was keeping his animalistic, evil people in Libya. There's only 6 million people
Well,
in
he
Libya.
didn't want to suffer Saddam Hussein's fate.
No, he was suppressing them, so he was a dictator, but he was helping us catch jihadis. And the guy was contained, and he wasn't building nuclear bombs. And he has all this crazy hardware, manpads and other weapons. Brilliant idea on President Obama. Every Team B 2-person in the world, all of us said this is crazy, should not be overthrowing Gaddafi. It's a big foobar if you do that. And we know what happened. The jihadis run Libya now.
That's right.
But the moral of the story is the dictators go, this is crazy. This 29-year-old kid has a nuclear bomb, a couple of them, and we can't touch him. We can't do anything. You need nuclear weapons in the minds of dictators to not wind up like Gaddafi, stuck with sticks and killed by your own people.
Well, yeah, and look, because Gaddafi ended his nuclear power quest.
Yeah, exactly.
And hey, we're friends of the United States now. Okay, see what happens to you when you're friends of the United States?
Yep.
And you're exactly right, Tom, because there's only two ways to keep to keep the peace in the Middle East. It's with brutal, thuggish dictators or by the Muslim Brotherhood, which is not at peace.
Yeah.
It's the only two options.
There's no, yeah. I mean, all right, number 15. What guidance has been provided to survivors of the family since the time of the attack, and who issued that guidance? And number 16. Why are so many agencies now requiring, this is amazing, their personnel that were involved in or have access to information regarding the events to do what?
To sign non-disclosure statements.
They're locking them up, man.
They're locking them up.
This is one of the most severe attacks of American diplomatic facilities since the U.S. embassies in Tanzania and Kenya. And the letter goes on, we've got to do something about this. Jerry Boykin is there, Larry Bailey, the founder of SOS, Mike Thornton, SEAL, Medal of Honor winner, Tom Norris. Great stories, both of these guys, SEAL heroes.
Yeah.
So go to...
Well, one of the last paragraphs, though, let's read that really quick. A long-standing American ethos was breached during the terrorist attack in Benghazi. America failed to provide adequate security to personnel deployed into harm's way and then failed to respond when they were viciously attacked. Clearly, this is unacceptable and requires accountability. America has always held to the notion that no American will be left behind and that every effort will be made to respond when U.S. personnel are threatened. Given our backgrounds, we are concerned that this sends a very negative message to future military and diplomatic personnel who may be deployed into dangerous environments. That message is that they will be left to their own devices when attacked. That is an unacceptable message. That's it right there.
That's the gist of this whole movement.
That's the crux right there. That's why they have to do this.
So House Resolution 36 is needs support, needs activism right now. Go to Special Operations Speaks, specialoperationsspeaks.com, and then on the bottom of that page, there's places to sign up. I have been doing sort of an unscientific poll. Mm-hmm. Speaking to all our friends that are either currently in the military or have been in, including SEALs, and asking, I said, could you in good faith right now, could you tell a young guy, a guy with tremendous capability, tremendous talent, possible special operator material, can you tell him, go join today's military, go in and serve under President Obama?
No, we had a former SEAL on this show that you asked.
Said he can't.
And he said, no, in good conscience, I can't.
Isn't that disgusting?
It's the worst possible thing.
And at the time when we need men and women of this caliber to go into the military, in 4 years, Obama has devastated. And his biggest claim to fame, he is so happy that he has made gay being part of the military.
Yeah.
Brought the whole gay and the open.
He killed Bin Laden.
Now women.
Yeah. He killed Bin Laden.
Women
bastard.
warriors.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I would send Pam Geller maybe into a combat
Pam
zone, but not a lot of other women.
She-devil.
No, okay.
She-devil.
Well, that's any concluding thoughts by you guys on the Special Operations Speaks? Good movement. Need to get behind it. We will keep everyone up to date on it for sure. All right, well, let's get right to our next subject with our time remaining. It's 5:40, 40 minutes after 5 o'clock on the east coast of Florida.
Back the clock up. Back the
Back
clock
the
up.
clock up. No, we have our hour, and that's a lot of time. Some people have little 5-minute things. We have an hour. It's tremendous. But let's share some thoughts on our Hitlerian analysis. Let's start at the end, then we'll work backwards with some of the data. What do you see, CJ? Are you guys back there? And pretty soon, folks, I've been having people say, when are you going to let us call in? We listen to the show. They're calling NN. And NN says, there's no way you can talk to those guys. So pretty soon we'll be able to take calls. But who sees, or you know what? You can check the chat on this stuff. If you guys want to give us, I'm going to ask you a question. What parallels do you see right now in our culture, in the world, that were similar to Hitler's ideology that laid the groundwork to have a very sophisticated methodology of killing human beings, in particular killing Jews? What exists right now out there?
Well, first, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You're the talent. Go ahead.
Oh, don't even say that. Well, I think one of the main things that we have right now is the vilification and the demonization of Jewish people, either directly as anti-Semitic acts or through under the cover cloak of anti-Zionism, attacking the state of Israel and delegitimizing the Jewish state of Israel. And this is worldwide. This is not just Islamic
worldwide.
anti-Semitism. This is anti-Semitism has been increasing worldwide. I mean, from 2012 over 2011, it's like a 30% increase
From 2011
in
to 2011.
attacks on Jews. 30%.
Are there any?
Okay, there's no other group that even tracks.
I got
okay.
Hang on one second.
Demonized in the media, in the popular media, in academia. The Jews control
When you
Hollywood.
say demonized, what we're doing, folks, we're having a discussion on the similarities in our society right now that pave the way to kill Jews that are similar to Hitler. But we're going to be showing you some B-roll. If you're listening to us talk, but if you're watching, we're showing you pictures of either a comparison between Hitler and Islamic Jihad today. So you guys show that. When you say demonize, what does that mean, demonize?
Well, I mean literally as visual caricatures of really showing Jewish people with horns coming out of their faces or little devil tails and pitchforks.
They're doing that today?
They're doing that today, not just in
Who was the propaganda? The propagandist was Goebbels the
Goebbels.
propagandist.
Goebbels.
Yeah, he was the propagandist,
Yeah.
and they had a phenomenal
But it's
propaganda
now
campaign.
you can find that kind of editorial cartooning in the Times of London.
Mm-hmm.
You find it in newspapers in Paris, in Berlin, in Madrid. I mean,
Speaking about Berlin,
it's
looks like we have a
really-
march of Hitler
it's-
in Berlin there.
It's all over the
And
world. Jews control the capital. So therefore you hate the capitalist, you hate the Jew. The Jew is responsible for your economic troubles.
I'm glad you
by
understand that.
extension.
Me and my wife were laughing at this the other day. If I had a wife. Whenever you see armies goose stepping, that is not a good sign as a military leader. It's like, where are they goose stepping at? Iran?
Yep.
Where are they goose stepping at? North Korea?
yeah.
Where are they
Yeah.
doing Nazi Hitler salute at?
Yeah.
Oh, Hezbollah, Hamas.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, and in every paper they see this anti-Semitic. Whenever you have groups that are really anti-Semitic, hey, good sign, not a good
Yeah.
country.
This
And
morning-
I'll tell you something else
Okay.
that's a common parallel, and this is something that especially our Tea Party people are always alert to, and that is this, okay? One of the first ways they went after the Jews back in the 1930s with the Nuremberg laws was they confiscated their weapons, okay? Folks, I gotta tell you, when the government seizes your weapons, That government is never going to protect you. That government is not out for your goodwill. And that's something that people need to remember.
As a quick aside, I saw a little video that the NRA put out. It's making its rounds around the internet. It has a former SEAL, 12 years, and he handled all kinds of weaponry and everything. I mean, a SEAL, and now I think he's in New York. He's not allowed to carry a gun, and he's not. And the NRA video was great because it cut to the SEAL talking, and then it cut to Bloomberg going, "No New Yorkers should have guns. The NYPD can protect everybody. No New Yorkers need to have guns."
Yeah,
What do you need
they're
guns
also
for?
not
We
allowed-
got police officers.
They're also not allowed to smoke, have salt on their French fries, or drink large sodas.
But they
So-
come back to the SEAL, and he goes
Yeah.
like, is this guy crazy? Or
Yeah.
you got somebody breaking into your house, and the police are going to be there in 1 second.
Yeah.
He said so.
No, that doesn't happen.
No, so
Yeah.
that's an issue. But let me ask you this question. I was preparing for the show earlier today, taking a lounging for a moment, thinking, and I said, why through history, the Jewish
Why the
people have
Jews?
always been attacked, always been hated. I mean, in bizarre, extreme ways,
Yeah.
but consistently,
Yeah.
right? Then I thought, you ever see a classroom where the teacher selects a student, like the favorite student? Oh, Johnny, you're going to be my student.
You're going to be my go-to.
Yeah, you're my person in the
Teacher's
class.
pet.
Well, I was going to say, what is that student usually called? The teacher's pet.
Yeah.
What is the usual attitude of the other students toward
Oh,
the
they hate
teacher's
him.
pet? They hate him,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I think in a kind of a simple analogy here, you got a classroom that has 6 billion people.
Yeah.
And you got this little tiny student here, tiny student that's been selected by the teacher
Mm-hmm.
to take a message to everybody.
Right.
And
that message is the Ten Commandments.
yeah, the Ten
by
Commandments.
way.
And instead of everybody saying, "Oh, the teacher wants you to teach us something that will help us in life," instead it's, "We hate you and we're going to kill you
Yeah.
because you're the teacher's pet."
Yeah.
Once
Well,
God,
no, it's not just.
well, the
they're
message
killing-
itself is
yeah,
offensive
the
too.
Message,
the
the message itself is offensive.
Right.
We don't want morality. We don't want
Right.
rules upon ourselves unless we make up our own, and we don't want to be accountable.
There's two things. So it's the message and the messenger.
Yeah.
So but I mean, this is the paradigm. This is the way God chose to do it. Here, I had to choose somebody, and,
That's
and the
right,
people He
that's
chose
right.
go,
Well,
"Oh my God!"
How do you alleviate your guilt over living your life in a way that you know is morally and ethically incorrect? What do
Well,
you
yeah,
do?
yeah. Well,
You
so
can't kill God, right?
well, no. So
So you kill the Ten Commandments. You kill the people who delivered the Ten Commandments to you,
but
and then there's
well, thankfully,
no moral conscience in the world. If you take away the Jews, the moral conscience of the world is gone.
well, and thankfully, when God chose Johnny to be the class monitor, okay, you're gonna be my class monitor. Johnny goes, "I don't know." Remember Moses? We did a little thing on him. Well, you weren't here for Passover. Moses is going, "I don't even know how to speak."
Yeah,
Don't
I got a
worry, I
list.
got Joshua. He'll do your speaking. Why? I'm not ready for this. Don't worry, I'll be there. But the Pharaoh, don't worry, I'll be there. Just shut up and go forward, right? When Johnny gets chosen, thankfully God said, "I'll be there. I'll help you. I have a covenant with you. Okay, I'm going to make a covenant with you. You do what you're supposed to. I'll get you in your land. You can have your promised land. I'll bless your nations, bless you as a nation, and everything's going to be okay. You may you fall away from this. I'm going to have to discipline you. I may use some of those people to do that. But if you come back and follow me, then everything will be okay." And that's been the waves of history with Jewish people through the Hebrew scriptures, through the New Testament, through the Roman era,
Right.
through
and
the
that,
diaspora.
And that is the similarity, because we have Islamic imperialism and we have the cultural relativism and multiculturalism of the West, which negates
The message.
Judeo-Christian
Sure, of course.
society.
Sure.
And so it's a natural.
Now watch this.
It's a natural.
Foobar.
It's absolutely.
But now watch how this gets crazier. So you have this messenger who really doesn't really want to deliver this message to a world that isn't interested in listening, but he has to. He's got to deliver it. And you got a message that's offensive, particularly to the secular mind today.
Exactly.
So now add to that all those students that don't like the little Johnny, the teacher's pet, say, you know what? Let's kill him.
Yeah.
Let's attack him.
Yeah.
And in 1948, little Johnny was attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 1956, little Johnny was attacked. And then in 1967, little Johnny was attacked. And little Johnny beat the hell out of everybody. And they're going, what's going on? Johnny has nothing. He is nothing. We are the Arab world. We have tanks and planes and men and fighters. We just got beat by little Johnny. Well, let's do it again. Let's do it on their holiest day.
Yeah.
And they get beat again. And little Johnny beats the hell out of them every time. So they're offensive now as a fighting force. And then you go walk in Tel Aviv and you can buy anything you want on virtually any street. You see factories and buildings and production and contribution. You go to an orchestra and you see Jewish people leading the orchestra and the opera and all of this, and movie theaters and arts and industry. And the Arab world without oil would be dust blowing in the wind.
The Arab world with oil
With
is
oil.
dust blowing in the wind.
And
there's no contribution
so the hatred
to the world.
There's never a self inspection. Internally, it's never looking at yourself from the Arab mind, saying, you know what, maybe it's my problem. Maybe the Jewish people got something going for them. It's never that. It's always their
it
wrong.
It
is.
is the
That's
Jews'
the
fault.
That's the Palestinian mindset.
The Jews keep us in the
That's
poverty.
the Palestinian mindset.
What do you mean?
Is they want everything the Jews have.
Introspection. That's the word I was looking for.
They want everything the Jews
Because
have.
the Jews
They
stole
don't
it
want
from
those
them in the
things.
first place.
They just want to take it away from them, and they want to kill the Jews to get it.
Well, it actually goes much deeper than that psychologically. It actually goes to their whole concept of honor and shame, whereas they are not control of their own actions, so therefore everyone else is shaming them.
Sure, it sure is. Sure,
There
yeah.
are always the victims. It is a victim mentality when you are Sharia compliant. Someone else is dishonoring you all the time. Therefore, someone else is all the blame. So therefore, it is never your fault.
Wow, that's right up with the Democratic view on things here.
See how that works?
That's right.
And you know what?
That's the convergence. I mean,
Right.
when you were talking about how early Hitler aligned himself with the communists to give himself that boost, then of course he got rid of them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
rounded them up. But the far right and the far left will come together, and always in history they're coming together to kill Jews.
Right.
It's like the only common thread in history. Did you ever see such
Well, because-
cooperation amongst
Yeah.
I
so
know, it's
many
bizarre.
different
Well, it's
groups
not
of
bizarre.
people? I
Yeah.
mean, you literally have anti-Semitism on this planet
that was-
amongst in countries
And
where
there's-
there is not a single Jewish person living, and nobody who lives there has ever met one.
Yeah, and what they're showing right here on screen is the alliance of the Turkish nation.
Look at that.
Under Hitler.
That's a beautiful picture.
And
Look at that.
under the Grand Mufti, under Nazi Germany, who the Grand Mufti formed Nazi SS divisions with Hitler, and it happened once again. And it's just over
To kill
and over,
Jews.
to
And
kill,
that
to
picture
kill.
just had the swastika on one side and the
there's the
crescent on
picture
the
with the Mufti up, on the
That's right.
with
That's
Hitler,
right.
who
And-
formed a pact to kill Jews. He is actually became the Arab Fuhrer. He was going to be nominated the Arab Fuhrer of Palestine so he could kill what, CJ?
More Jews.
All right, now,
All of them.
now for our viewing audience, our listening audience, we have a picture of the Grand Mufti, the Grand Religious Muslim Leader of Jerusalem on the left side, circa, 1943?
Oh, I think that's earlier. Isn't
Maybe
it?
a little earlier, maybe 41. He's a Muslim brother, the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem. He's on the left side of the screen. And then on the right side of the screen, go back to it for a second. On the right side of the screen, we have a gentleman by the name of Adolf Hitler.
Not a gentleman.
Yeah,
Just a man.
a guy by the name of Adolf Hitler, and they reached an agreement, a pact, to more efficiently kill Jews by using Muslims.
Yeah.
And
I can't have him talking and you talking.
the guy, put the guy in the left, put the
Just a
Mufti.
second, Tom. We're going to bring up the hands.
I got 1 minute. I want to show the Mufti on the left. Hitler and then the Mufti. Now, the Mufti has a nephew.
A nephew by the name of
Yasser
Arafat.
Oh, Yasser Arafat. Yasser Arafat is the nephew, 2 or 3 times removed, 2 or 3 generations down, of the Grand Mufti, and he followed in the Grand Mufti's footsteps of wanting to do what?
Exterminate
Kill
the
the
Jews.
Jews.
Kill the Jews.
And
Yeah.
the Grand Mufti, in the whole scheme of things, is probably one of the main reasons of still Jew hatred in the whole.
Now, does anybody see? We got about 2 minutes left. Does anybody see any macro solution to this? I mean, we have 1.3 billion Muslims, and most of the Muslims we've ever dealt with, and we deal with a rough crowd. They hate Jews. They will eternally hate Jews.
Yeah.
The doctrine teaches them to hate
And the
Jews.
secular Europeans do as well.
Mm-hmm. So we have the majority of the Arab world who hates Jews. We have a huge portion of the secular European world
And
who
they
hates Jews.
justify it by their hatred of the state of Israel. So they make Israel the bad guy,
As the
therefore
cause of the
Jews are the
problem.
bad guy, therefore we are legitimately defending ourselves
So where does this
against
end?
an aggressor.
Where does all of this
The
end?
only way for this to end positively is a complete cultural religious revival, not just in the United States, but worldwide, to Judeo-Christian values.
And that is
It's
not gonna happen.
the only thing that
I
saves
can't.
mankind
I don't
from
see that
destruction.
happening.
You would have to get rid of the TV.
On a
That's
micro
what I
level,
think.
individuals
At the macro,
individuals can change.
yeah.
Individuals can change.
Yeah.
Sadly,
Individuals
there's a
can
there's a
change.
Christian history where Christians veered off of the doctrines of Christianity. They hated Jews,
That's right.
but the doctrines don't teach that. But they did that, and some changed, some didn't.
I think
Islam,
enough-
the
I think-
doctrines teach
I
that. That's the
think-
problem.
I think in America and in the West, I think there are enough individuals heading in the right direction, individuals who are linking as communities who are really making a difference. And
Well,
I
we'll
think
pray.
It can spread.
We'll pray that it happens. I think we may find the solution to this in the book of Revelation, I think. And in Isaiah, in Ezekiel. We may be looking at those kinds of solutions. I don't know,
Okay,
folks.
so does
but,
that mean we're talking about Iran and North Korea?
Yeah, I
again
think
tomorrow?
so. And Gog and
But
Magog,
we're
you
gonna
know.
do-
But
all
right
right.
now, we
Yeah.
got to say goodbye because it's happy trails.
Thank
again.
you for
The hour
watching
is
and
gone.
listening.
See you guys. Bye.
Regret.